Good afternoon, I'm Raine Musñgi. This is Newsfeed on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel. Former Comelec chairman Andy Bautista is indicted in the U.S. for allegedly taking bribes to favor an election technology provider during the 2016 polls. The U.S. Justice Department says Bautista and 3 executives of a voting machine company were charged for their roles in an alleged bribery and money laundering scheme. While the U.S. Justice Department did not identify the name of the company involved, one of the 3 executives, Roger Alejandro Martinez, is a co-founder of Smartmatic. The indictment says between the years 2015 and 2018, at least $1 million in bribes was paid out to Bautista in order for the company to retain business related to the 2016 Philippine elections. Bautista faces 1 count of conspiracy to commit money laundering and 3 counts of international laundering of monetary instruments. Back in 2016, he awarded Smartmatic a nearly $200 million contract to supply 94,000 voting machines. Following the controversy, the Comelec banned Smartmatic from bidding on election contracts last year, but the Philippine Supreme Court overturned that ban last year. Comelec Elections Chief George Garcia links the country's previous poll service provider, Smartmatic, to the bribery elections against him. Garcia also plans to take his accusers to court. We have more from Agatha Gregorio.
Embattled elections chairman George Garcia sees a possible connection between allegations of corruption against him and the country's former poll service provider. Garcia is accused of owning 51 offshore bank accounts. At a press conference on Thursday, Garcia showed media what appears to be a trail of evidence pointing to who could be behind the allegation. Documents show that the money deposited to 2 of the accounts came from a firm called Jaleo Consulting LLC, owned by Juan Jose Herrera, the same Jose Herrera who is the director of Albatross Technologies Corporation. Albatross Technologies, Garcia says, has the same address as Smartmatic.
Sana po masagot itong katanungan ko pong ito. Wala po akong ibinibintang. Bakit po ba naman ang address ng Barbados, address sa Barbados, ang address na number 26 ng company na sinasabi ko ay parehas sa address ng company na dati nating provider. Ayaw kong ako magawa ng konklusyon.
Garcia also called this a direct intervention on the elections by a foreign entity.
Jaleo Consulting LLC ang nagpadala. Alam niyo po, nung makita ko po yan, ako po'y kinilabutan. This is direct intervention sa eleksyon ng Pilipinas ng isang foreign entity. Kahit pa sabihin niyo, hindi araw ng eleksyon, komisyon ng eleksyon, ang pinuno nito ang inaakusahan.
The poll chief says once he receives the results of the National Bureau of Investigation and the Anti-Money Laundering Council's probe, he will file an ethics complaint against a certain congressman. He did not name the lawmaker, but it was Sagip Party List Representative Rodante Marcoleta who first came out in media with the allegation.
Okay, kung meron siyang ground na mag-file ng ethics complaint, kung palagay niya tama yung gagawin niya, we are in a democracy, why don't he do it? Kasalanan ba yung nakakita ko ng paraan para lamang ma-prove natin na merong account?
Garcia also showed certifications from 6 local banks saying the accounts are fake. Banks from South Korea and the Cayman Islands have also said the same thing. He says he's also received information that someone is spreading documents linking him to the accounts in Congress. He now calls on leaders of both chambers to be careful.
Na sana po, huwag tayong papayag na ang ating pong mga opisina at mga institusyon ay magagamit upang maghasik ng mga kasinungalingan, pag magbintang sa mga tao at manira ng puri ng iba.
The poll chair also raises the matter to the president.
Ako po'y nakikiusap, humihingi ng tulong sa ating kagalang-galang na Pangulo, Ferdinand R. Marcos. Ang inyong lingkod ay natalaga dito sa Comelec. Isa lang po ang aking palagay na instruction ninyo at yan po'y ayusin ang Commission on Elections. Ayusin ang pangalan ng Comelec, ibalik ang tiwala ng sambayanan. Sana po matulungan tayo na yung mga gantong tao, entities, hindi makapamayagpag sa ating pong lipunan.
Agatha Gregorio, Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Bilyonaryo News Channel is trying to reach Smartmatic for comments. Some good news for motorists. A big-time oil price rollback is seen next week. Gasoline prices may see the biggest cut of up to 2 pesos and 50 centavos per liter. Kerosene prices also going down by about 2 pesos and 40 centavos. Diesel prices to be slashed by around 2 pesos and 10 centavos per liter. The Department of Energy cites weaker oil demand, especially in China, and a stronger peso as reasons for the rollback. The Energy Department is seeking more than 3 billion pesos for its budget next year. The DOE says part of the funds will be used to develop the EV industry. Hannah T. reports.
The Department of Energy, or DOE, has unveiled an ambitious plan for the electric vehicle industry as part of its 2025 budget proposal. The goal is to significantly increase the number of EVs on the road and build the necessary infrastructure to support them. The implementation of the Electric Vehicle Industry Development Act, or EVIDA, will be a significant use of DOE's Fund 101, which constitutes a large portion of the entire DOE 2025 proposed budget. EVIDA aims to promote the adoption of electric vehicles in the Philippines through incentives, infrastructure development, and supportive policies. The DOE recognizes the growing public interest in electric vehicles, partly due to import tax adjustments that have made EVs more affordable and competitive.
Yung push natin na ilagay sa kaisipan ng tao ang ang electric vehicles. Kasi pag tinitingnan, really is ang resistance to change. Ang isang problema laging inaano dyan, magcha-charge ako, pero the other one really is flooding in Metro Manila. Paano kung bahain yung electric vehicle ko? So may mga ganong concerns, but in fact, ang mga electric vehicles, actually, silyado yung mga baterya as long as hindi papasukin ng tubig. Mas matibay.
The Electric Vehicle Association of the Philippines, in a 2023 summit, projected that cumulative sales of electric vehicles in the country would reach 6.6 million units by 2030. Notably, more than half of these will still be two-wheeled vehicles. Electric vehicles are also seen as an alternative to mitigate rising fuel prices.
Ang cost per kilometer to travel using electric power is a lot cheaper than using itong ating traditional na fossil fuels. Ang net effect really nito is to increase the mileage per peso. I think this becomes very important sa ating public transport system.
Aside from a strong rollout of EV fleets, DOE promotes increased use of biofuel, which can potentially lower pump prices.
These are the biofuel efforts, no? So by October, magiging effective na yung bagong minimum for biodiesel. Tinaas po natin from the current 2% to 3%. Ang biodiesel sa atin ay from the cocomethyl ester, and this step helps yung ating coconut farmers as well. Ang magandang effect ng using more CME is actually it makes diesel engines run cleaner and they run more efficiently. Merong actual mileage gain as you increase yung CME blend sa diesel product.
When asked about the possibility of oil prices decreasing in the coming weeks, DOE emphasized the fully deregulated nature of fuel in the country.
At the moment, ang world market pababa tayo, no? May softening. May mga concerns na baka lumapad ang sigalot sa Middle East dahil sa ginawa ng Israel na aksyon. And if this hostilities become more widespread in the Middle East, ang expectation will be upward pressure sa presyo po ng mga oil products. Ang concern sa China really is yung kanilang demand. Ang effect ni China is binabantayan siya kung gumaganda ang ekonomiya, lumalakas ang demand. Pag lumakas ang demand, it's again another upward pressure on the liquid fuel prices.
The DOE has proposed a budget of 3.08 billion pesos for the fiscal year 2025, a 19% increase from the previous year's 2.59 billion. Hannity, Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Nobel Peace Prize laureate Yunus takes oath as the head of the interim government of Bangladesh. Yunus was recommended for the role by student protesters. He returned to Dhaka from Paris days after Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina was forced to quit and flee the country after deadly protests. Yunus will be the chief advisor of the interim government, tasked with holding fresh elections. The student-led movement grew out of the protests against quotas in government jobs, which spiraled into calls for the Prime Minister's ouster. And those are the news this hour. I'm Raine Musñgi. Stay tuned to BNC for more top-of-the-hour news on Free TV Channel 31 and also on our website, bnc.ph. Bilyonaryo News Channel, always on top. Good afternoon.